like, just bring the story to mind of Elijah. So, in 1 Kings 18, one of my pastors, when I was young, called it the God contest. Um, Elijah challenges the prophets of Baal. He challenges the people of Israel. He says, we're going to set up this God contest. And whichever God comes and lights the sacrifice on fire is the real God. And so, like 400 or 450 prophets of Baal set up their altar, say their chants, do their dances, all of these different things all morning. And of course, nothing happens because Baal is not God. And they're even like self mutilating, they're doing all kinds of stuff to try and get their God, who they think is God, to respond and to set this altar on fire. And Elijah is like totally on top of his game. He's like, oh, maybe he's sleeping. Maybe you should yell louder. Maybe he went on vacation. Maybe you should try this. Maybe you should try that. And then when it's Elijah's turn, he has them douse not only the sacrifice, but the wood with water. And so much water that there's like a moat around the altar. Like it is soaking wet. And he calls on God and says, show these people that you are God. And God sends a fire that doesn't just burn the sacrifice and the wood, it burned the stones, like everything. And so, like, what a high. Like, I've just proved to the whole nation, my God is God. And then he kills all the prophets of Baal because that's the wages of sin is death. That's what God had him do. He kills them all. He's just proven God is God. And he sees that the rain is coming because they've been in a drought because they've been turned from the Lord. And he says, I see a cloud the size of a man's hand, and you better run because it's going to rain. And it's kind of like, what if a cloud the size of a man's hand? What? And so he runs. He outruns chariots. He runs. And like just this massive victorious thing. But then he hears that Jezebel wants to kill him, which is nothing new. She wanted to kill him before. And he goes and he hides in the desert and is like, God, why don't you just kill me? Like, just take me out now. I'm the only one that's left and this isn't going to do any good. And I mean, just like crazy. But the encouragement from that of like, don't be so hard on yourself if you're struggling. Because even after an amazing, unfathomable victory like that, he crashed to this place of like, just take me now. I don't want to be here anymore. And the Lord doesn't correct him. The Lord ministers to him. The Lord feeds him and lets him rest for a couple days, I think. And, so he's not like, you shouldn't be feeling like this, like, he lets him rest. He lets him get refreshed. He feeds him. And then when he's kind of, starting to come back, then the Lord says, you're not the only one. I have these, I don't remember now, 700, 7,000, 4,000 something. It's a bunch. Elijah's not alone. He's like, I have these reserved. I have this remnant that's faithful. It's not just you. Like, come back up, come back and see my perspective. And so it's just that encouragement that that's how the Lord deals with our hurt emotions. He's not condemning us. He's not telling us to get over it. He understands that we're human, that we're weak, that we struggle, and he nurtures us and just gives us a place to rest in that. And so we should be doing that for one another.